What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Hendog and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yes, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Only a couple weeks after the Dodgers have won the World Series, your NL foe have won the World Series. You're getting more negative news, I feel like, during this free agency period than you should be getting right now. Especially after that disastrous ending to the MLB season we just had. That I still, to this day, months after, already a couple months afterwards, I cannot get over. And I know a lot of the Valley hasn't gotten over. It's just criminal. But anyways, we still haven't gotten over that. Can we have any sort of positivity around free agency? Like the news about Christian Walker and the D-backs maybe agreeing on a deal. Or, I don't know, the D-backs traded Jordan Montgomery or something. I don't know, some sort of positive news. No, we get more negative news. Well, other than the fact that we did get recently heard that Ketel Marte won Silver Slugger. So congratulations to Ketel Marte on winning your first Silver Slugger at second base. But also, thank you for taking a day off when we really needed you down the stretch for when the postseason, for when we need to go to the postseason. See, it's bad. It's hard that you have. It's this good and bad sort of situation you have with the Diamondbacks right now. How bad, how bitter taste they left us D-backs fans after that season. But then, like, you could see, like, there's just small tweaks that this team needs to make that could propel them to get back into the postseason and make another World Series run. We had that team, but it's just it's more negative than positive right now. We heard recently now that the D-backs that have been fielding calls. I'm not saying they've been, they're like, hey, fire sale, come on in. But teams that are looking for starting pitching are looking at the team that did a fire sale on their pitching staff and has 6 starting pitchers because of Jordan Montgomery's position in his contract where he can opt in. Yay. To another year in his deal. So we have now 6 starting pitchers. So teams are going, this team might be willing to give us a pitcher. So yes, people have been calling about Zach Gallen. Boo. People have been calling about Merrill Kelly. Boo. People have been calling about fucking Brandon Pfaadt. Boo. People have been calling about Ryan Nelson. Boo. Hopefully they've been calling about Jordan Montgomery, because there's also rumors that we may be willing to eat part of his salary in order to offload him. Really? Well, there goes more of the money that we were supposed to have in free agency, because our owner, even despite the fact that the owner met with Jordan Montgomery and they had hashed out what he said on the radio, which was fully true. He didn't lie. He literally was saying what every D-backs fan was thinking. It was an utter diabolical season for Jordan Montgomery, and he's part of the reason of just the shit show that ended our season with that choke fest in Milwaukee. So we don't want to see him. We don't want to see him. So, but Mike Hazen did come out and said, is there a possibility that Jordan Montgomery remains on this roster going into the next season? Yuck. That is an utter yuck. So right now, the news for free agency in the Arizona Diamondbacks is not good. We just hired a new pitching coach, Brian Kaplan, from the Philadelphia Phillies. So the success that they had in the starting pitching and in their bullpen has been good. It was shaky in the playoffs, but don't let that deter you. That's just Philadelphia in general. But there's obviously success there. So, we got rid of Brent Strom, a legend of the game, but maybe they just needed a new voice and stuff like that, and maybe he just couldn't reach the time of these guys. So hopefully Brian can, and he could get this pitching staff over the edge. But it's just absolutely crazy to me that if you think about it, like, the margins were so small for the Arizona Diamondbacks last season, where if they just win one of those games and get into the playoffs, people keep their jobs. Because even if they got knocked out in the playoffs, they would have looked at the improvement in the win total, the best offense or one of the best offenses in baseball, and at least subpar pitching. They could have been like, oh yeah, it was just maybe an off year with our pitching and we suffered with injuries, which is true. But we were in prime position to get into the postseason. And even if we just win one game and they get in, Brent Strom still has a job. The other pitching staff still has a job here. And we're literally looking at minor improvements maybe going into the postseason. But now it's just the wheels are coming off right now. And the car parts that we have in front of us are not looking ideal. We have we lost our platoon DH, just beautiful. I mean, Mike, we can't credit Mike Hazen enough for the job he did with Randall Grichuk and Jock Peterson in the DH hole with platooning them. What an utter masterclass that was from Mike Hazen. So kudos to you, bro. But we lose both of those guys because they deserve it. Randall Grichuk especially had a career year. Jock Peterson, absolute missile, stud. But I mean, if we can't get both of them back, the one I want back is Jock Peterson. I mean, the dude's posting pictures at Cardinals games. I mean, bring him back, please. This dude is the spirit of Arizona. Randall Grichuk deserves his money, and I hope he gets it because he balled out for us. And I'm really pissed off we didn't get to the postseason because when we signed him, I was so happy we got him, and I wanted us to go to the postseason and see him play more in a D-backs jersey. But if he comes back, holy shit, I'm popping bottles. But if you're giving me the option between one or the other, I want Jock. I want BCJ back. So give me Jock Peterson. But that DH hole needs to be filled. So what are the D-backs going to do there? Then we got Christian Walker, who longtime fan favorite, longtime Valley fan favorite, and just a defensive stalwart, an absolute security blanket over on the first base corner there with a multi-time Gold Glover. And cemented himself as one of the D-back rates in just his little short time here. And all things considered, because he started off, I think it was in Baltimore. But just being here in the few years he has really cemented himself in this D-backs organization and in the city as one of the favorites. So losing him is huge. And priority number 1 or 1B should be Christian Walker because he is huge. Not only does he have a big bat, but just like I said, the defensive stability that you have at first base, you ain't got to worry about that. And we brought back Geno Suarez for 1 more year. Like, you know how big it is. As a coach, you don't have to worry about the corners because you never know what balls are coming to those corners. They're hot, they're cold, they're soft, they're hard. You don't know what's coming. You know, not trying to be dirty or anything. But, bunts, line drives, screamers, just balls just coming hard off the grass or turf or wherever you're at. Like, you need that stability, and having that in first base and third base, not needing to worry about that is huge. And like I said, just a fan favorite, a person like literally in the World Series when he was struggling, or no, it might have been the NLCS. The 2 years they're so night and day, and just as a D-backs team, there's so much the past couple years. I don't think it was the World Series, but it could have been like the NLCS or NLDS, where Christian Walker was going through a huge slump. The entire Chase Field, when he went up to bat, when we came home for the part of the series, stood up and applauded him, so they could give him some confidence at the plate to get a hit because he was in this bad slump at the time. He is loved here. So if he's brought back, oh God, you went over the fan base already. So, but Mike Hazen, I trust Mike Hazen. Mike Hazen knows what's good for the team. I mean, last year wasn't on him. He gave Torrey anything. Him and Kendricks gave Torrey everything possible to get to the postseason. So I put my trust in Mike Hazen. So it's worried. So you got that first base spot. What if we don't get Christian Walker? I mean, to be fair, on the other side of it, Christian Walker deserves the bag. He deserves money. In his 30s, he doesn't know how many more contracts he's gonna get. This may be his last contract. So on the flip side of it, he deserves to get paid. So if the D-backs try, they really, really try, but some team just beats them in money. Unfortunately, that's the sport of baseball, and we're going to have to live with it. But I personally can live with it if knowing that the D-backs literally offered every cent that they had, but they just got beat money-wise. Maybe someone offers like a 4th year or 5th year on the contract that just puts it over. You know what I'm saying? Like just the little thing. Like we tried really hard, but they just offered $10 million more because they had $10 million more than we had, unfortunately. Fuck you, Jordan Montgomery. But anyways, I'm just saying. But if that happens, we just are just short and he leaves, what's going to happen? Paul Goldschmidt reunion tour, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, big dreaming. Pete Alonso wouldn't hurt. But Paul Goldschmidt come back? Possibly he could. Could Josh Bell come here? I don't know. Josh Bell coming back. That's just not. It's either Christian Walker or maybe Paul Goldschmidt for me. But like for me, Christian Walker, Pete Alonso, and Paul Goldschmidt are like the three players I need to see at the first base position in the D-backs uni next year. I can't see Pavin Smith there. I can't see anyone else there right now because we're in a win now scenario. Pavin Smith's really good. If someone needs a day off in the outfield or first base, and he's really good in those spots, but to make a playoff run, to be an everyday main guy player right now, we need someone like Christian Walker or like a Pete Alonso or even a Paul Goldschmidt, even in an off year, because he's not going to command that much money. But it's going to be needed. So yeah, it's full free agency right now is full of uncertainty for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hopeful, but we're trying, man. We're hanging on. I'm hanging on. I have Jeff Passan's notifications on. I'm really hoping that he says that the Arizona Diamondbacks sign Christian Walker, because that would be awesome. In terms of the pitching, I mean, I'd love to see them out of the bullpen. I mean, that would be nice, because in the back end of it, that really unraveled. So it's just plugging it was because we cut Dylan Floro, Scott McGuff, and I think there's probably a couple positions to fill in that bullpen. So just adding some more consistency would be freaking lovely. Oh, and we lost Paul Sewald. So if we're not going to go after our big-time closer, we'd love to see maybe A.J. Puck get that, or we really commit to Justin Martinez. But I don't want us to sign some half-ass closer or bring back Paul Sewald when we have Justin Martinez or Puck there. Either really commit to the closer role, bring in a really big, like not a really big name for closer, but someone who's got some years on them, who's consistent, and who can just get the outs, because that would be huge for us down the road. But, hopefully we get some positive news soon. It's going to be here on this YouTube channel. So thank you all for tuning into this video. Like I said, tune in, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to get notified when I do go live for streams, like for games and stuff like that, or when I do drop more videos. Like I said, content's going to be coming out over the course of the offseason here for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and as we get into the as we get into the spring training, because it's already November, so the new year's already coming. So next thing you know, it's going to be the start of spring training. So all the content leading up to spring training and the regular season is going to be on this YouTube channel. So please do hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for the support lately on my baseball stuff, my football stuff, my basketball stuff. Everything that's been coming out lately has been just hit with tons of support. So I really appreciate you guys for that. I love you all. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see y'all later.